ChatGPT. Relate ACM to the movie Yesterday. Yesterday through the lens of A Course in Miracles, ACIM. Yesterday is far more than a movie about music and the Beatles songs. Through the lens of ACM, it becomes a fascinating exploration of authorship, specialness, guilt, identity, and the realization that true creativity does not originate from the personal self. The movie begins with a mysterious event in which the world forgets the Beatles ever existed, while one man remembers their songs. Suddenly, Jack finds himself in possession of something the world believes is entirely his. This creates the central spiritual dilemma of the film. Who is the author? The temptation of specialness. When Jack begins performing Beatles songs as his own, he experiences fame, recognition, admiration, and success. This mirrors one of the ego's deepest temptations, specialness. The ego wants to be unique, exceptional, more gifted, more recognized, more important. The ego says, look what I have that others do not. It teaches that specialness is the ego's substitute for God's love. The ego seeks value through comparison, but anything based upon comparison inevitably produces fear. The more special Jack becomes, the more anxiety he experiences. The greater the success, the less peaceful he feels. The burden of the secret. As Jack's fame grows, so does his discomfort. The problem is not the songs. The problem is the hidden belief. I am taking credit for what is not mine. This points toward one of the course's central themes. The ego thrives in secrecy. The Holy Spirit heals through transparency. What remains hidden becomes a burden. What is brought into the light can be released. Jack's increasing guilt is not punishment. It is a signal that he is living out of alignment with what he knows to be true. True creativity. The movie raises an intriguing question. Where do great ideas come from? The ego says, I created this. This belongs to me. This is my achievement. ACIM offers a different perspective. True creation is an extension of God. Real creativity flows through the mind rather than originating from the personal self. In that sense, Jack becomes a symbol of all of us. The gifts that move through us are not possessions. They are extensions. The more ownership the ego claims, the more disconnected it feels from the source of inspiration. Fame and identity. Jack initially believes success will solve his problems. The ego always promises fulfillment through external achievement, fame, recognition, money, status, approval. Yet the movie repeatedly demonstrates that none of these bring lasting peace. ACM teaches that identity cannot be found in accomplishments. The ego builds identity from what it does. Spirit knows identity from what it is. Jack's struggle intensifies because he is trying to maintain a self-image that does not feel authentic. Love versus achievement. One of the film's most beautiful themes is the contrast between love and ambition. As fame expands, genuine connection becomes more difficult. Jack eventually faces a choice. Will he pursue the image the world celebrates, or will he choose authenticity and love? Frequently presents this same choice. The ego seeks admiration. The Holy Spirit seeks joining. The ego seeks achievement. The Holy Spirit seeks connection. The movie gradually reveals that love offers something success never can: peace, forgiveness, and honesty. The turning point occurs when Jack becomes willing to tell the truth. The ego fears honesty because honesty dissolves false identities. Yet healing begins the moment the burden of secrecy is released. This reflects the Course's understanding of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not merely pardoning mistakes. It is releasing the false self that believes it must maintain appearances. The truth becomes liberating. The missing Beatles. One of the most interesting symbols in the film is the disappearance of the Beatles themselves. Their absence invites a deeper question. Would the songs still matter if nobody knew who created them? The ego values authorship. Spirit values extension. The beauty of a song is not increased by ownership. The beauty is in the sharing. This reflects the miracle principle in ACM. Love grows through extension, not possession. The central reflection. The ego watches yesterday and asks, what would I do if I suddenly became famous? The Holy Spirit watches yesterday and asks, am I seeking specialness, or am I willing to simply extend what has been given? Viewed through yesterday is not primarily about music. It is about the temptation to build identity through specialness and the healing that comes through honesty. Jack's greatest success does not occur when he becomes famous. It occurs when he stops trying to be someone special and becomes willing to be authentic. The deepest message may be, the gifts that flow through us were never meant to make us special. They were meant to remind us that creation is shared, love is shared, and joy increases when it is freely given away. Go to mwge.org to find full movie and commentary by David Hoffmeister.